Donald J. Trump has been elected President of the United States for a second time. He defeated Vice President Kamala Harris. The election was closely watched. Trump's victory was secured by winning key swing states. One key state was Arizona. It flipped back to the Republican Party. Biden narrowly won it in 2020. This victory marks a significant comeback for Trump. He lost the 2020 election to Biden. Trump's win has sent shockwaves throughout the world. Many international leaders and analysts had predicted a Harris victory. The implications of Trump's return to the White House are far-reaching. This is especially true in the realm of global conflicts. Trump's foreign policy approach was unpredictable in his first term. This has left many wondering how he will navigate the geopolitical landscape in his second term. It is complex. The full impact of Trump's victory on global conflicts is unknown. One thing is certain, the world is bracing itself. A new era of American leadership is here under President Trump. His decisions will shape international relations. They will have significant consequences. This includes peace and stability around the globe. Trump's victory was decisive. However, it was not a landslide. He secured 312 electoral votes. He surpassed the 270 needed to win. However, he fell short of historic victories. Presidents like Barack Obama and Ronald Reagan had more. Harris secured 226 electoral votes. Trump's popular vote count is over 74.5 million. Millions of votes are still uncounted. The final margin of victory remains uncertain. Voter turnout was estimated at 62.3%. This was lower than the record-breaking turnout in 2020. It was higher than other recent presidential elections. This suggests something. The 2020 election galvanized many Americans to vote. However, Trump's victory in 2024 still motivated voters. The election was close. Trump still won. This highlights the deep political divisions in the United States. These divisions will likely persist. They may even deepen. The country will navigate the challenges of a second Trump presidency. Arizona had been trending Democratic. This was true in recent elections. It swung back to the Republican column. This delivered a crucial victory for Trump. This shift has several explanations. One is concerns about the economy. Another is rising gas prices. Anxieties over immigration also played a role. Trump successfully tapped into these anxieties. He positioned himself well. He was the candidate best equipped to address these issues. His campaign used the economic anxieties of Arizona voters. Many of them experienced high gas prices. This happened this past summer. Harris outspent Trump in Arizona. She had a better organization. However, she was unable to overcome these concerns. They were deeply rooted. Her campaign focused on other issues. These issues were important. However, they failed to resonate with voters. These voters were primarily concerned with the economy and immigration. This suggests something. Economic anxieties and concerns about immigration are powerful. They motivate voters. This is even true in a rapidly changing state like Arizona. The news of Trump's victory sent ripples across the globe. World leaders and analysts reacted with a mix of apprehension and cautious optimism. Some expressed concern over Trump's unpredictable nature and his past stances on issues like NATO and trade. The European Union, while congratulating Trump, emphasized the importance of continued cooperation on shared global challenges like climate change and the war in Ukraine. Other leaders, however, saw Trump's win as an opportunity to reset relations that had become strained under the Biden administration. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, a close ally of Trump during his first term, congratulated him on his victory and expressed confidence in strengthening the U.S.-Israel alliance. Similar sentiments were echoed by leaders in Saudi Arabia and Egypt, who see Trump's return as potentially beneficial to their regional interests. The overall reaction from the international community can be characterized as one of uncertainty. While some see Trump's victory as a potential disruptor to the established world order, others view it as an opportunity to forge new alliances and pursue different approaches to global issues. Only time will tell how Trump's foreign policy will unfold in his second term and its impact on the global stage. Section 5. Implications for the Ukraine War. The ongoing war in Ukraine is a critical area where Trump's victory could have significant implications. During his campaign, Trump expressed skepticism about continued U.S. military aid to Ukraine and suggested he would pursue a negotiated settlement with Russia. This stance has raised concerns among Ukrainian officials and their allies, who fear that a reduction in U.S. support could embolden Russia and undermine Ukraine's ability to defend itself. Trump's past statements about NATO and his personal relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin also raised questions about his commitment to supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression. Some analysts believe that Trump may be more willing to accept Russian concessions in Ukraine in exchange for cooperation on other issues, such as arms control or Iran. The future of the Ukraine war under a second Trump presidency remains uncertain. His actions in the coming months, particularly regarding military aid and diplomatic engagement with Russia, will be closely watched by both sides of the conflict and will likely have a significant impact on the trajectory of the war. Section 6, China and the South China Sea. Trump's victory has significant implications for the U.S.-China relationship, particularly regarding trade and security in the South China Sea. During his first term, Trump engaged in a trade war with China, imposing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of goods. While he touted this as a way to protect American jobs and intellectual property, it also created economic uncertainty and strained relations between the two superpowers. Trump's stance on the South China Sea, where China has been asserting its territorial claims more aggressively, was also confrontational. He authorized increased U.S. military patrols in the region and challenged China's claims over disputed islands. This approach raised tensions in the region and increased the risk of military confrontation. It remains unclear how Trump will approach China in his second term. He may continue his hardline stance on trade and security, or he may opt for a more pragmatic approach, seeking areas of cooperation amidst competition. The future of U.S.-China relations will be crucial for global stability and will depend heavily on how Trump chooses to navigate this complex relationship. Section 7. The Middle East and Iran nuclear deal. The Middle East, a region fraught with long-standing conflicts and strategic rivalries, is another area where Trump's policies will have significant consequences. One of the most immediate questions is the fate of the Iran nuclear deal, which Trump withdrew from during his first term. The deal, negotiated by the Obama administration and other world powers, aimed to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. Trump's withdrawal from the deal was highly controversial, as it isolated the U.S. from its European allies and led to increased tensions with Iran. It is unclear whether Trump will pursue a return to the deal or continue his maximum pressure campaign against Iran, which has involved sanctions and military threats. Trump's approach to other issues in the Middle East, such as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the ongoing civil war in Syria, also remains uncertain. His decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and move the U.S. embassy there was a departure from decades of U.S. policy and angered Palestinians and their allies. His approach to Syria, where he authorized airstrikes against the Assad regime but also withdrew U.S. troops, was similarly unpredictable. Section 8, Trump's second term, a new world order. Donald Trump's return to the White House marks a pivotal moment in international relations. His first term was characterized by a disregard for traditional diplomatic norms, a preference for bilateral deals over multilateral agreements, and a willingness to use American economic and military might to pursue his objectives. These actions have led some to argue that Trump's presidency has ushered in a new era of global disorder, characterized by uncertainty, instability, and a decline in American leadership. Whether Trump's second term will further accelerate these trends or offer a course correction remains to be seen. The world is watching closely as he assembles his foreign policy team and articulates his priorities. His actions in the coming months and years will have profound implications for the international order and the future of global peace and security. The challenges facing the world today, from climate change and pandemics to nuclear proliferation and terrorism, require global cooperation and leadership. How Trump chooses to engage with these challenges and whether he can build the alliances and trust necessary to address them effectively will determine his legacy on the world stage and shape the course of the 21st century.